There seem to be more epidemics sweeping across this country now than in the ages of the Great Plagues. A recent cover story in Newsweek magazine referred to an epidemic of drug use among young people. Before that, the media was sounding the alarm about epidemics of teenage pregnancy, of alcoholism, and of suicides, among many other things. When I was growing up, we were taught to stay away from crowded places during an epidemic because someone might sneeze on you and you would come down with influenza or something. It is hard to see how you are going to come down with drug addiction, much less pregnancy, that way. Reckless use of the word epidemic is more than just media hype debasing the language. Like most clever uses of words, it camouflages a hidden agenda. Personal responsibility is anathema to deep thinkers, for that would undermine their role as rescuers of the victims of society. If everything is an epidemic, then we have done an end run around personal responsibility and can now break into the clear with more government programs, which means more money, power, and visibility for the rescuers. It is an old script, but the anointed keep using it, changing a few words here and there to keep on bamboozling the public. Personal responsibility can be gotten rid of in many ways. Comedian Flip Wilson says, "The devil made me do it." Deep thinkers say, society made people do it. That means the taxpayers have to pick up the tab. There are people with some unusual names. Just among economists there are Orly Ashenfelter, Axel Legion Hofwood, pronounced just the way it's spelled, he says, and Pedro Schwartz. But I have never met anybody named society. Yet if you believe the deep thinkers, this is who is making everybody do everything. Everyone is learning how to cop out of personal responsibility by blaming society. From teenagers in high school to hardened felons in prison, they can tell you how the traumas they were put through by society caused everything from failing grades to armed robbery. People who would rather mooch than work used to be called bums, but now they are homeless victims of society. You are supposed to feel guilty because more money is not being taken out of your paycheck to support them in the manner to which they would like to become accustomed. The decline of personal responsibility has been accompanied by a rise in social responsibility by people who had nothing to do with the individual decisions that brought on disaster. Along with this has come an increased role for people skilled at creating guilt. One of the best performances of this nature was a television appearance years ago by author James Baldwin. He glared out from the TV screen in a coldly bitter stare, saying, "I've just come from seeing a dead boy, and you killed him." "Not me, Jim," I replied to the screen. "I've been here in the apartment all day." It turned out that this dead boy was 28 years old and had died from an overdose of drugs. Baldwin never really explained how the television viewers had done him in, nor did he have to. Society is presumed guilty until proven innocent. We laugh at people who believe in the tooth fairy, but we take it seriously when deep thinkers talk about society as having done this or that, or having failed to do this or that. If they mean the government, then they ought to say the government, but then we might see through the high-toned words to the hidden agenda.